podcast. I am Paul Stewart.
And I am Brian Wright, and we have made it to Hump Day.
Hey.
Humper. All right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, Brian, we talked about roller coasters. Your struggle with them. So, I got to go to Pullen Park here in Raleigh with my youngest yesterday. Good, beautiful park, man. If you're in the Raleigh area, it's over by NC State. They've really redone it. They've got this train that goes around. We did the
Very
train.
wholesome. Yeah.
It's a great little park, but we did the carousel.
Mm.
That's my speed right there.
You can still handle it.
Up and down, round and round. Nice, smooth sailing. Yeah.
Did they allow you to get on one of the little horses or whatever?
I got on the horse. Yeah. I got on the horse. Just rode it around a couple minutes. Just good, nice, low speed. Perfect.
Did she enjoy it? Is she at the age
She
where
loved
she's
it.
past the little horses or?
No, she's 7, man. She loved it. She was all about it. So she had a blast. And then went over and met a friend at Shake Shack for lunch. Shake Shack is really proud of their food.
Yeah, I think all those nice kind of uppity hamburger joints have definitely embraced price increases.
Man.
And part of me I would just rather go somewhere else. But part of me realizes that they're very good. And if I was a business owner, you got to charge enough to make money or you can't do it. But I do think they're a really good establishment.
I mean, good little smash burger, but it was my daughter and I. We got 2 burgers, 2 fries, two sodas, and a milkshake for like $42.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean,
Whoa.
Shake Shack, you're good. You're not that good.
You can go to Applebee's.
Go to Outback, dude. Come on.
Yeah. Get your little steak. Get your little kangaroo bite.
Yeah, man. So, all right, and here's before we hop into sports, this is kind of a sports related question, Brian, and I'll give you my examples. But I'll ask the question. I'll give you my examples. So I want to hear if you have any. Are there any things? So we were both athletes, still semi-athletes, right? We do.
Nah, I can't take any more. My hand-eye's gone.
We do a little bit. We
wood
hit
bats.
ground balls. We play catch. We can do some.
Yeah, I can do
athletic
that.
stuff.
Yeah.
Are there things that you do around the house where you still give like a little fist pump so that, or you get excited? Like the couple things I'll mention. I want to hear if you have some. So one, we've got our big garbage can in the garage where we throw like bigger things or whatever, but it's down lower. So you're up on so for example, like the laundry detergent, like when that's done, I'll throw it in that one because it takes up, more space. And sometimes I'll throw it in like, I don't know if it's getting in there. It's a little long, and then it'll rattle in. I give like a fist pump. I'm like, yeah.
Okay.
The
By
other
yourself and with other people, you're always.
I'm just like, let's go. Yeah. The other one, we have a compost pile in our backyard, like in the back right corner. It's probably 75 feet or so from like the back door. And so every once in a while, I have like an apple core or just an apple that's gone bad or an orange or something. And I'll throw it into the compost pile. But there's also like some trees that are obstructing. So sometimes you got to lob it. Sometimes I just try to throw it as hard as I can through it. And again, same thing. Like I love launching like old fruit or whatever into that compost. Sometimes it's like a head of lettuce and it's just real messy.
I'd say this, when my kids were younger and like that feeling of finally like get them to take a nap or get them to bed. Oh, yeah. That was
I was like, you walk in there and they're just passed out laying on the floor because they're.
Yeah, and I wanted, I'm a big fan of sleeping and what it can do for your body. And so I was always trying to keep them in bed. They were pretty good about that. My son, he would get out of bed. He'd go to sleep in his bed and he'd wake up forever till he was like 3 or 4 years old. But it was definitely that kind of accomplishment that may get a fist pump. I don't have enough like basketball opportunities. I feel like that's kind of like Michael Jordan kind of patented that move, right? When he was like, that's kind of his. Yeah. And then Tiger Woods took it over.
Tiger took it over, yeah.
And I kind of like that. Like when we were up in Aberdeen and he hit a home run, it's kind of a big situation.
I remember watching the video. You're on third base with the
that's all you need.
90 degree. I saw you across the field. I've seen the video of it. You're just that's your patent move. Yeah, that's the Brian.
I'm not a big emotion. If you get that from me, I mean, it really takes a dopamine release for me to get to that, and it don't happen a lot around the house. Maybe I need to set up little fun little obstacles where I could feel that. Right, I don't have that a lot. Not in
Maybe
regards
maybe we'll
to.
get you a little compost pile. And here's the thing: don't people out there don't think too highly of me for having a compost pile. It was more because within town limits, you're supposed to like bag the leaves of the yard clippings in a certain way. And honestly, I was too lazy to do that. So I created like, oh, I'll just throw them in a pile in the yard. And then I've got like a little chicken wire around it to, keep it all in there. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah. I think it's awesome. I don't have enough of those things. I will say that. Like, I know what you're talking about. Like that feeling like a kid. I had a little trash can in my room. You'd be cleaning up your room.
oh
You'd
yeah.
toss a little piece of trash
Laundry,
there.
laundry sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't have any of those little events running around.
It's
Unfortunately,
the,
I need
it's
I
the
need
little
more.
wins, the little wins in life. Hey, so if you're out there watching YouTube, comment in the comment section what little things just help get you by. Help little wins
Oh,
like that.
that can be a lot. I think
I
you know
mean,
what we probably, and I'm guilty of it. And I send you some reels on Instagram, like a lot of times sport related, and a lot of my Instagram is sport related. Or my daughter, obviously, she oldest daughter plays lacrosse, so it's athlete related or
yeah.
lacrosse related. But yeah, you can really get down. I got so far down Instagram hole a couple of times. Like I clearly was looking at too much. It went to like all Indians, like from India. I don't know how it thought I was into that sort of thing, but I went all Indian for a while, and then that's when you flip out of it. But I'm very much into. I enjoy learning and understanding, like how the body works and that sort of thing in regards to like athletically. But
So what's
I
like
need
cricket?
I need little basketball goals
Yeah,
everywhere.
we'll figure that out. Hey, your birthday's coming up, fella. Maybe that'll be get you a little basketball hoop for your trash can.
Yeah, yeah, a little backboard. I like all that. I
That
like
might
it.
be good. So I've got an this is an umpiring related question slash suggestion possibly.
Okay.
So especially in the big leagues now, everybody's using the pitch com. They've got the earpiece in. In college, some colleges use it. They also use the watches, the wristbands, whatever you want to call it. Uh, Brian, what would you think of allowing the umpire to also have the earpiece and allow the communication to go to the umpire as well? So let's say, the catcher calls a slider. So the umpire also knows a slider is coming. So it gives them, because, sometimes you'll see umpires get fooled on pitches too. Like
I agree.
that, you
That's
have a 3-0 count, you're thinking fastball.
and
Guy
we
goes a
yeah, you
slider, you're
see
like, oh,
that.
I wasn't ready for that. Yeah. And then he called a ball, right? They give up on it because it looks out of the zone. What would you think of having the umpire with the earpiece in? Because it gives him the chance to really look and be even more locked in. And
Well,
the umpires,
I
to be
don't
fair,
disagree with the thought process. If we want to keep that human element in, which it feels like I guess we do, and I guess it kind of keeps a skill in from the catcher as them being really good receivers, and kind of getting pitches. I would say the next best step is what you're suggesting. Like the obvious step is just to use the zone and strikes are called from a computer or
yeah,
however they've got it. That's the best thing to do. But if they want to keep the human element in it, the next best thing to do is to do that. I think because, like you said, we've all seen it where guys are fooled and they're like, "Dude, it's right there." And
yeah,
I've seen a couple of Instagram clips, and it's like, "All right, there's strike or there's ball four right down the middle," and it's like,
yeah.
and it's just missed it, and he was looking for something else, or and obviously they missed calls. Hey, Paulie, I did not send you this one because I send you too many things. But there was in the Mexican League. There's a guy who took a full swing, and the catcher's freaking out. And he's like, the umpire called it a ball. He
Oh, geez.
appeals. He appeals. The guy in the field missed it too. He said
I've
he
seen
didn't
that. I've seen
swing.
that clip. That was from a couple years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's what we need to review. Uh, but in the minor leagues, dude, I think they're actually doing check swing reviews now. I saw a
I
check
don't.
swing.
I still like my feeling. In my book, every check swing is a swing.
Yeah,
I remember vividly my first professional at bat. 2000. We were playing Chattanooga, and I went up there to hit, and I felt like I just barely got the bat off my shoulder, just twisted a little bit, and the bat deflected off the barrel. Right,
Or
and
the
that,
ball. Yeah.
yeah, and it was a pitch. It was a fastball kind of in. I just kind of barely moved my shoulders. The bat was not even in the zone, but the ball hit the barrel, skipped off, and that counted as a strike. I'm like, dude, if that counts as a strike, certainly getting the bat. And it's so objective. It doesn't feel like there's any, or subjective. It doesn't feel like there's any real
They were drawing a
rule.
line and trying to show where it was. I did see him try to do it. I sent you a video a while back, and I don't know if you remember this. I think it was maybe Mickey Mantle, or I don't know who it was, but
Oh, it was like Sandy Koufax pitching. Yeah.
and the guy that was swinging, he was like swinging all the way around. And they're like,
But then he's
"Oh,
yanking it back at the end. He was basically taking a full swing, like,
yes.
but then pulling it back. And I was like, ball, he didn't go around. I'm like,
Yeah.
if the dude hit it, it would have been in the upper deck.
right. If he makes contact, it's going to the outfield. But I will say this: I think it has changed. I like if it broke the plane of the plate has always kind of been my thing. But really, like you said, if you take it off the shoulder and there's a pitch up and in, you're going to make contact. That is a strike. I again, I have seen them do some review calls in the minor leagues this year on check swings. So that is, they have a.
There needs to be just, and if it like, here's the line. If the bat goes past this line,
I agree.
and it's a swing, right? And maybe it's, if you're looking at the plate from, let's just use the right-handed batter's box. If it gets like 1/3, like,
I agree.
put it in thirds. If it gets past that first 1/3, because dude, once you get it halfway out there,
Dude,
if it hits on the barrel, that's probably. I mean, it could get to the outfield realistically.
that's exactly right. Especially depending on who's doing. Yeah. Depends on when it happens and how it snaps. But yeah, for sure, I don't disagree with you. It is a really a rule that has changed because again, it was Sandy Koufax, and he was dirtying up this lefty that he was facing, and he had swung like 5 times, and like, well, the count's full now, and
Yeah,
it's
like
like,
the dude struck out like 6 times already.
yeah, this is strike 6. I
Yeah.
did see, and I think this happened this year, where somehow there was a 5-pitch walk, and clearly missed by hitter, by umpire, and by everybody
Oh, they just
involved.
missed the whole count. Oh wow.
Missed the whole thing, and it's a 5-pitch walk, and or five, not a 5-pitch, but a 5-ball walk,
Yeah, yeah.
and so there are still things that happen, and that I do think is good to bring some human element in it. But back to your original statement, I think if you did that, that's the next best thing to just having them call, be it called from the third eye or from the
Yeah.
eye, whatever.
So you mentioned Sandy Koufax. Let's go to the complete opposite side of this. So there's been already in baseball a handful of position players pitching in kind of blowout situations. Well, the White Sox game in the opening day, who were they playing opening day? Whoever that was, it was 8-1, and they threw a position player. It's like, dude, that's not. It doesn't feel
Yeah.
like that's position, especially on opening day. But the Brewers, Jake Bauer's done 2 shutout innings. There's been a handful of guys already pitching in these big kind of blowout games. What are your thoughts on? And last year was interesting because I don't remember. I should have looked up, but there was some crazy stat like for like 39 consecutive innings, position players pitched scoreless innings.
Pitching below the bat speed. Yeah,
Well, so what are your thoughts? So first, what are your thoughts on getting position players in the game? Is that the right time to do it when you're plus minus 10 runs? And
I'm going plus. Yeah, plus minus 10 runs is the number for me, and it's got to be after the 8th, I think. And again, I guess there's different situations. If you're in a long stand, you had some rainouts early, and you're playing like your 15th game in a row, and you're down 8-1. I don't think you do it in the first week of the season. But you're really trying to save pen or set yourself up for the best. Sometimes in baseball, nobody likes to hear this, and I don't like to hear it either. but sometimes you got to set yourself up for the following series, the following game, because there are 162 games, and
Yeah.
the next one is one you can't control if you're already down. What's kind of your number? Didn't the Yankees pull out a position player when they were up on the Brew Crew and have a Yankee pitching, or no?
They may have. I don't remember. I
I mean,
wasn't.
because they were up something ridiculous on the
It was
Brew
over
Crew.
like 20-9 or something. Yeah. No, I don't know. I take a little more pride in it, I think. Like as a pitcher, I don't want to see a position player up there ever. But it used to be when I remember in 2002, so double A, um, we had a situation like that. We were an extra, I think we went like 15 or 16 innings, but a guy named Tom Nevers was playing for Chattanooga, and he threw like 3 or 4 innings against us. And threw, I think he must have pitched in college or something because he looked like a real pitcher. Like he was, but
He
he was
wasn't just throwing below bat speed.
no, he was
Yeah.
throwing. But it seems like now, if you bring in a position player, they're throwing the ball 60 miles an hour. They're lobbing the
Yes.
ball in there. It's not even really fun to watch because it's just
Oh no, it's not. It's not at all. I think the game's over at that point. They're trying to get through it. It's not a. I don't think it's one of those things that is really conducive to entertainment. How about this? Would you like to see the MLB, like a lot of college teams, put in a 10-run rule?
no, I don't like that either. I mean, you got to finish the game, right? But especially in Major League Baseball, I get where um, records and things like that are such a big part of the game. You're like, oh, you're missing 2 innings of a game, or whatever it is. You don't get your at bats, that sort of thing. Hit streaks could go to to die because of that sort of thing. So, no, I don't think so. I think I finished the game, but again, it's just for me a sense of like professional pride. Just
Well, I do think there is something to that. And you were a guy that battled for a long time, and I imagine you were wanting those innings at times. Were you a part of teams often that it happened, or just a handful of times every year?
I
18.
don't. I honestly I don't remember it happening very much at all for the teams I played on. There was a couple times that one year specifically when I was in relief, I felt like, man, we could have used somebody else because it was like 4 of us in the pen going every other day. Nuts, man. But that was yeah, I don't remember it happening a whole lot for our team. And if our pitchers did come in like a position player, I think they actually like tried to throw. Like they weren't
Yeah,
just
yeah. You don't see that anymore. I'm sure there's some risk of injury and that sort of thing. And the reality is, dude, these guys, if you throw 80, you're going to get crushed. You throw 90, probably going to get crushed. And so throwing below that bat speed makes a huge difference.
yeah, I mean, why not just throw like I mean, I honestly I'd like to see like O'Neill Cruz or
Oh
Ellie De La
gosh,
Cruz.
I would be curious if he has any semblance of where the zone is, because if he does, he'd get a lot of people out, dude. The way his body works, I mean, the way he slings it. There's so many guys that play in the outfield or shortstop position that feels like they could easily transition. I mean, Trevor Bauer famously on his one of his days, he tries to throw like an infielder. So he'll do like, hey, let my feet work. Hey, turn it two. He's all about getting the norms of a pitcher out of you and getting the athletic norms back in you. And so there's no question that, if they could find the zone, they'd be effective.
So I'm just pulling up a few of the games that like seasons that I played in. And so the first one we went to is 2002 Huntsville. And I remember this game. So we were playing against the Mobile Bay Bears. I went 7 innings, gave up 1 or 2 runs,
So a
and
good quality start.
our bullpen was done. We didn't have anybody left. Remember my buddy I told you about, Jared Mathis, that I hit in the head?
Yes.
He came in to finish that game and blew the lead. So actually, for that whole year, he pitched. He had 2 appearances, pitched two. One of them was the loss that he had for me. So he was 0-1 with an 18 ERA. So,
That's
uh,
not great. That's not great.
I mean, I'm just giving up four runs in 2 innings. It's not, yeah, it's not the worst. So I do remember that game now because I was feeling really well at the time, and I had a win, and it had we had a pitcher available, I would have.
Hey, talk to me about this. What, we've hit on it a little bit. Do you remember pitch counts, or what was kind of the reasoning if you had nobody kind of left in the pen? Obviously, maybe early in the year, but what was the reasoning for getting you out of there? Was there 125, or was there a pitch count that y'all
I
got to,
must,
or
yeah. So
labored?
when I came up with the Brewers, it was 125 for the first few years. And I remember there was a couple times, like I had the one in 99, I had like 5 or 6 complete games. And I remember a couple of them, I was up over 125, and the pitching coaches in there kind of fudging the numbers to, when he had to send the report in. Um, but yeah, and then we were, pretty consistently over 100, around 110, 115. Usually it was, and then some of it's, kind of the flow of the game, right? You're looking at,
Yeah,
how
just how much
good
you're
it is.
laboring, how much you're getting hit. If you're getting, getting killed out there, you got to do something. Yeah.
Yeah. But I just look back to a couple other seasons, and we didn't have any position players pitch. I mean, it's
So only a handful of times over your 10 years, yeah, which is
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
incredible. Which I think that is, there were definitely a game or two I can remember, even minor league, and I didn't play nearly as long, where we brought in somebody and they were just throwing BP. And a lot of times you get a fly ball that if it was velocity, maybe it gets out. If no velocity, it gets to the one track, gets caught, and you keep it moving.
yeah, absolutely. So one of the things we were watching, so my son and I were watching the Brew Crew and the Royals play last night. So Bobby Witt had a. I've seen this actually a couple times. Bryce Harper did a couple nights ago. Bobby Witt in the games we were watching. Harper hit just like a hard ground ball, and not hard enough ground ball to get through. Second baseman couldn't get to it, and the center fielder came over. And Harper, true to form, just like he's 18, 19 years old, still hard out of the box, went for a double, got thrown out by a step. They slid in, tagged him out, but really like the hustle play. Outfielder's a little slow getting to it. And then Bobby Witt did the same thing last night. Bobby Witt's a little faster, ended up getting the double out of it. So stretching singles into doubles, really cool to see that hustle, and especially having my son watch it. It's like, oh, that's how you do it right there, right? But so he gets on second, he gets the oven mitt on. Dude, the oven mitt is like twice the size of his other hand.
I think he's went extreme. A lot of the oven mitts our kids are using, and my kid has it, I'm proud to say, are just pretty small. But I think these guys, Bobby Witt's smart enough, old school enough, sold, that he's like, dude, if I can wear this, I'm going to give myself an extra 3 inches. I've seen
It's
his. His looks like a true oven mitt.
he looks like a monster, some sort of monster with a and so there was a play on, I think it was opening night with the Dodgers, where there's a play at the plate and they threw it home, and it had to be replayed, and they watched. Ended up the Dodgers guy ended up tagging him out, but whoever was sliding into home had the mitt and reached over and just barely swiped and touched the plate, but it was because of the oven mitt. But
Part
dude,
of the game. It's part of
there's
the body,
gotta
man.
be,
Part of the body. You would bring out the foam finger, I think, if you were running.
might
If
as
it's
well. There's
um,
is there a regulation? Is that like, does it have to
there
be
should
five
be.
inches?
There should be. I saw something that was interesting, and maybe this was last year, but a guy was rounding getting a double. His helmet was starting to come off, or he took it off, or something. He slides in second base. He kind of over stand up slides over it. Ends up putting his helmet touching the base, and his hand is touching the helmet. And he's on the base. Nothing else is touching except for the helmet through the hand.
What
Right?
they
The
call
hand is only holding on to that. Is the outer safe, Paulie?
out?
That should have been the call, but they called him safe. But later verified that that should have been the call based on this rule, whatever 9.011, that,
Yeah,
whatever it is. He should have been out, but they did call him safe.
yeah. That'd be like if you took your wristband off and reached over with your wristband.
But same thought process. The other
Same
man,
concept, yeah.
yeah, it's they've made it. There's different circumstances for that. It feels like, but it is a it's a different world out there now, man. I do like the hustle plays. I do think there is because you sometimes you watch big league games, and I think it kind of gives. Johnny Hustle was famously. I feel like maybe what was it, Mickey Mantle or one of the old school greats talking about guys who had never seen it before and running hard and
Joe
just
DiMaggio. Joe
it.
DiMaggio. They said, "Why do you run so hard through first base?" And he said, "Because there's somebody in this crowd who's never seen me play before, and I want their first impression, to be of like Joe DiMaggio
And what
hustles.
a great mindset. I didn't always have that, but I did. I really do appreciate the kids that you do it for two reasons. As your family's there, but hey, you're either to punish yourself or ultimately to give yourself the best chance to get on the base to help your team. Right? You got
Yeah,
to do something to motivate yourself. Going hard out of the box is almost character. Like, what have you been taught, and what is your core character traits?
yeah. Well, it's one of those things too, and I can speak to this as a pitcher. If somebody bunts on me and it's a bad bunt right to me, if they're going hard up the line, it does put more pressure on the defense.
Yeah.
Whereas if you see somebody just jog out, like, oh, okay, I got time, I'm easy play. Like I as a pitcher, I prefer the guy who gives up and is a loser. Like I
Yeah.
want that.
I like that loser.
But as somebody who fields it, if you see somebody just cooking up the line, you're like, oh crap, and then you could force a bat throw, you could force an error or something like that. So no, I mean, it never hurts to hustle, right? It never hurts to run it. Same thing with you hit a routine ground ball to short. I mean, if you're moving up the line, just one little bobble, one little skip, you're safe, right? I mean, especially as you get older. Maybe not now with our kids, 90-foot bases is still a little tough, but
It makes a difference, though, man. I've seen it, especially the next year as they get into a little bit older. It makes a difference, and it's still some of the arm strength hadn't caught up to that field size. I will say this: going home to first base, Mickey Mantle famously was timed going 3.55. I'm going to say that is absolute BS. I've seen the kid that was in spring training. I can't think of his name. That he ran a 3.91 to first base, and he ain't even got a hardly. He hits it to the left side, almost like a softball girl, and he is safe at first base running a 3.91. I'm saying Mickey Mantle never ran a 3.55 from home to first.
could have been a fast clock. I don't know. Quick hands, quick hands. Um, Maybe not. I don't know. We'll never know, Brian. We'll never know what happened in the 50s and 60s. Just up for debate for all time and forever. The other thing, as we were watching the Brewers game last night, and a lot of fields do this, they have all the advertisement on the back of the mound. Not I say all. It's usually like one sponsor on the back of the mound in chalk or paint. Dude, when I was a starting pitcher, I would have like that would have distracted me. Like I would have wanted to like erase some of the words or some of the letters to make it say something else, like to be a goof sort of thing. Like that would have bothered me so much.
That's
Like
interesting. I've seen it. I think it looks cool. I want to stick my hand through it as well, but I don't think it would have distracted you. But I could imagine you like just
no,
rubbing your
it
foot
like
through it. Yeah,
probably more mentally.
yeah.
I would have had so much mental exercise thinking of like, what can I make this say that's funny, or what can I make this say that's a
Interesting.
little outrageous or something like that. If it's
I did want to mention today. I
like
got
if
the
it was
first of the
Like it was
month.
Dunkin' Donuts, I'd like just erase and had like Dunkin' Nuts or something. Just something.
Yeah, I don't know. I imagine I get frowned upon. Speaking of that, did you see the guy that had the seat right behind home plate that mooned everybody?
I saw that.
I feel like that should be frowned upon. That
How's that not
is,
happen more often?
I'm surprised it doesn't. There's been some females that have got back behind there that feel like they know they're on camera all the time and they are pretty strong in their game as far as their dress attire. But this guy, full fledged, mooned the whole world during the game. I just was wondering, like, automatic ejection's got to be right.
Yeah, I think you get probably pulled and banned from the stadium forever, sort of thing. But I don't like, like, what's the point of doing that? I don't.
I
It's
don't
like,
know. What I think. Hey, let's speak on this. Mooning in general, like famously the Green Bay Packers.
oh, Randy
Like
Moss.
their fans, obviously Randy Moss did it, but the reason he did it is because every time they would pull in to Green Bay Stadium, you'd have a bunch of fans mooning you.
Yeah.
Um, I can honestly say, dude, it has never been something that has crossed my mind as something to do. I don't understand it as an insult or as a even a thought of trying to use it as an insult. Has
I
it ever crossed your mind to where you thought, I might moon this guy right now?
no, like. I mean, a couple times. Like, I'll walk around the house every once in a while and have like my butt crack hanging out just as a joke.
But
Like
that's a joke. Okay.
it's like with my kids, right? I was
Right.
like, oh, what's going
But
on here?
but you never like been
No, I've
insulted.
never I've never shown my butt like in public to anybody. Like it's never crossed my
I've
mind.
had friends that have done it and they thought it was hilarious, and especially college, you see crazy things, but it never has been something that's like, oh, that's a good idea to do right now.
Maybe we should bring it back. Like that would be.
I don't know. I thought we may be past that time.
Do
Almost
people
like
do
roller
that?
coasters.
Do people still do that? Is it a thing?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it is. I haven't been in those circles. I haven't definitely been in those circles. I don't think it is still a thing, but if it is, I don't know. I feel like
It felt
sexual
like it was
assault, some
kind
of
of a
those things are so
thing.
prevalent now.
Like when we were in high school, it felt like you would do it like in the car, like somebody would moon another car or something.
Yeah.
Um,
Again, I never thought it was funny, dude. I thought it was ridiculous. I mean,
we
now that I'm
we
saying it, and a grown man did it on TV at a baseball game,
Brian,
feels ridiculous.
let me tell the tale. I'm not going to say a name, but this is a friend we have in common. Uh,
I think I may know what it is.
I think you definitely know who it is, and he's a big listener of the show. We appreciate that. High school, we're coming back from his Northern Durham High School. We had just beat the brakes off him, and so from Durham to Garner, yeah, an hour drive. We're riding the activity bus for the high school. So it says big, it's blue and gold. It says Garner High School on the side. And you know how like when you're in the seats, it's pretty spacious because it's just the team on there.
Yeah, and you got 15, 18 players, and it's made
And
for
he was kind of leaning up against the window, had his arms propped up on seats to either side. And I didn't know this was going on, but apparently he had pulled his pants down and had his
He was mooning the
had his
whole way.
butt smashed up against the window, like the entire. I don't know how long it was. I don't know how long he was doing it, but it was long enough where the resource officer or like the police officer or rent a cop, whatever it was, from the high school saw it on like Highway 40. And so
Gosh.
we pull off the exit, old exit 298 South Saunders Street, heading into Garner. And there's a cop car waiting, like blue lights come on and pull the bus over. And we're like, and at first we were like, oh man, we're getting a police escort. We just had a good game. We whooped them. Like, let's go.
And you truly had no idea it had
No
happened at
clue.
all?
Because I was sitting I was kind of sitting in the middle front. He was kind of towards the back third. And we were like on opposite sides of that. But it wasn't like nobody was like we were just kind of normal cutting up, nothing crazy. It was just a normal
Bus ride home. Yeah.
oh yeah, just kind of a celebratory bus ride home. We want, that sort of thing. Cops pull us over and they say, hey, this kid has been mooning people for 30 miles or whatever it is. And
actually, I do think it's funny. I mean, I've changed my.
It's funny because you know who it is. So the head coach comes back on. I don't remember like if they pulled him off the bus. I can't remember the full story, but I remember he wasn't allowed to practice or play until he ran like 1,000 hills. So
Oh my gosh.
or the way the field set, there's the football field right next to the baseball field, and there's a hill like an embankment at the end of the football field. He had to run. It was like 1,000 hills before he was even allowed to practice again.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so he spent like it was at least 2 or 3 days just up and down, up and down, up and down. So that was man. So that's my favorite mooning story, I guess.
Yeah, I don't understand it now. Hearing it now, it's and doing it for that long a time and people not knowing. I mean,
again, I don't know if he told other people that he was doing it or if he
I mean,
just
that's
did
even
it.
funnier. I think, like I'm mooning everybody. I'm sitting here talking to you, and nobody knows. It's kind of funny, kind of weird, but I appreciate it.
So I mean, there you have it. So watch out for Garner High School buses rolling around town with tails smashed up against the windows. So, all right, well, hey, that's all we got for you today. We appreciate you listening. If you want some of those stickers we got, send me an electronic message. Wright Stewart Podcast at gmail.com. Wright Stewart Podcast at gmail.com. And we'll take care of you. We'll send some over. But otherwise, hey, make it a great hump day. Make it a great hump day.
Out. Go Pack. Go Tigers. 1-3 Tigers.
Go Tigers.